Episode 666 of the Too Thick Pod. I am your host, Jeremy. I'm joined by Manny. We've got a special guest today, Octane Collectibles. Here we always talk about sports, cards, and levity. And today I think we're going to touch on number 3 in a big way, levity. Manny, welcome. Octane, welcome. I have to put on my Gucci's because we are joined by hobby celebrity.
Celebrities. We got to put the sunglasses on.
Get out of here.
We're applying to be your bodyguard to ride up your coattail to the top.
I like it. Let's do it.
These are just little Ray-Bans. We brought up the Gucci's, and we figure as your stardom rises, we want you to feel comfortable and feel like that we can hold up to your level of expectations.
Wow, dude, I'm small fries, but thank you. That means a lot, man. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I was a little bit butthurt that you did Luca's first, and I was happy for you. But when I met you at the National, and we're smoking cigars and chopping it up, and I didn't know who you were, you didn't know who I was. I'm like, man, this guy's cool. And then we had the Instagram out, and I was looking at the memes, and I was taken back, like how fucking hysterical they are, right?
Thanks.
And then understanding that you're a parent, Manny's a parent, I'm a parent. Life is pretty damn serious. We spend a majority of our time worrying about our kids, making sure that we're providing for our family. And the hobby can sometimes be a depressing ass place with all the negativity. To just sit back and like have a good belly laugh, like a sincere, not a fake laugh, not a bullshit laugh, but a legitimate good laugh. I'm like, man, this guy is doing the Lord's work.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm doing a dirty work.
How was it? Because this was your first national, right?
It was. This was my first national.
How was it? In like basically meeting all these guys that you're memeing on a daily basis. Were you scared that someone was recognize you and give you a 1-2 quitter?
No, I've never done a face reveal before, so I knew nobody was gonna know who I was. I did want to go up to everybody, which I did. I went up to all the influencers, all these big people. I said hi to them, said I was a big fan, even if I wasn't a big fan. I was literally just trolling everybody, right? Some people I was a big fan of. But no, it was super exciting to actually meet these people, see what they were all about. I actually was gonna ask fucked up questions to everybody, right? With permission. Sadly, the microphone didn't get there in time. I actually had it shipped to the hotel, but I was just gonna go up to people and just go nuts, man. Just ask questions, but it didn't happen that way. But it was still fun. It was good.
I love nothing more than just saying outlandish things at the worst opportune time and just seeing the reaction, because most people don't know how to handle it and they just become unglued. So I would have loved, I hope you do that in the future, man, next year in Chicago.
I'm definitely going to do it next year. I'm going to be a little bit more prepared. But yeah, I'm going to give them, out of respect, a heads up. Tell them what kind of fucked up questions I'm going to ask, and then just ask. If they say no, then whatever, you're a dick. So it's all good.
So I heard you say that like memeing, and you used it like a verb, but you're also a collector. I did a little, like my wife would do. She goes on the Facebook. I don't have a Facebook, but I went back at the Instagram, and I went way back, and I saw you collect, man. It's like, looks like you got a little bit of West Coast vibe, maybe some basketball, a little bit of F1. How did that go from being a collector into the meme game? Like, because we always talk about participating in the hobby. You can do it different ways and you can have fun. And so to me, I think it's, as somebody who enjoys humor, the way you're doing it is fucking fantastic for me.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's pretty simple, man. I mean, I do collect Formula One cards, right? So I'm an F1 collector. I collect LeBron James, and I also try to collect as many Jordans as I can. So I call myself a peasant collector, is what I call myself, right? I stay in my lane. I collect whatever I can afford. And then I've always been good at humor, right? I've been the funny guy or whatnot. Then I started to see these memes aimed at the hobby, right? So I was like, shit, I could do that. I'm pretty disrespectful. I could say some fucked up shit. And I started throwing some out there, which I thought were funny. So that for me was the biggest thing, that I was laughing my ass off while I was doing them. And then I was like, you know what, let me try to do this a little bit more consistently. And then that just took kind of control of my page, and people gravitated to that. So I just said, fuck it, let's just ride with that, man.
So what was the first meme?
Shit, I don't remember, man. I have so many, dude. I meme every day. Since I started, I do at minimum one meme every single day. Like I don't miss. So I can't remember what my first, but I went back and some of them are pretty corny, man. They're pretty stupid. I'm just glad they're buried in the past. But I can't remember, man. Some of them are pretty soft core compared to now.
I think it was a Joe Burrow in about November of 2020. It must have been right after he tore his knee up or something like that. And there was like the stock market with the
Yeah,
arrow down.
I
That
remember
was
that.
the earliest. That was the earliest Octane meme I could find.
I think I deleted some, but yeah, that was yeah. For, I remember this one guy. His name is Markleberry. He kind of helped me out at the beginning, and he told me you're only gonna get better. And when he said that, I was like, "Bitch, I'm already good." That's what I thought in my head, right? I was all
Right.
cocky. Now I go back and I was like, "Damn, those were trash." He was right. He was
Yeah.
right. You're only gonna get better. So I feel
So it's important to me, like an Octane episode is all about Octane, but there are other people in this space. And is it like more of a competition, or is it more of like, hey man, we're all boys, and because of how good you're doing, you're forcing me to level up, and as a result, iron sharpens iron.
Dude, that's a fucking awesome question. That's an awesome question. And I'm gonna be honest, man. People who get to know me, you'll know that I'm all honest. My memes are honest. Like if I hurt you, I'm sorry. But actually I'm not sorry. So this is how it started. So from the beginning, I would see these big accounts, right? And they would post some memes and I'd be like, damn, bitch, that shit is corny, right? I'd be like, I could do a better meme. So at first it started off as these guys are my target, right? I want to be funnier than them. Like, that's how it started, right? It's just good for competition, right? You always want a goal to achieve. Um, but then it started to turn into I just do it for me, right? I'm just if I think this meme is funny and I'm having a good time, like that's all I really care about. Because then you start to get toxic. If you start trying to compete with these people and try to hate on them, then it just gets toxic, right? And actually some of these other memers are, I would consider them friends now and stuff like that. I talk to a lot of them and there's really no competition. There's some days where their memes are just straight fire and I hit them up like, dude, that's it. You won today, dude. Like this is all you, But it's not a competition, at least for me anymore.
Well, competition's good at some point because I put money Lamine pushes you for your content, but at the same time you're in your own lane. You're kind of more of adult type memes, not like the kid friendly, we should say. And that's my next question is when are you gonna start an OnlyFans and get the real good memes out so you don't get banned on Instagram?
Right now, I have my lawyer. He's looking over the documents and stuff. Pictures. No, man. I might go private. If it gets too bad, I might have to go private. I just wanted to build a strong enough following where I can go private. But if it gets pretty bad, I was thinking of doing the Octane After Dark private page.
I like that.
I like that. By invite only.
Exactly. Well, it's just because then you don't have to worry about shadow bans or Instagram coming after you. Because right now I'm on, I'm like,
you're on the naughty list.
I have a big target on my back. Yep.
I love it because I would share probably damn near everything you do. You jump on Instagram and it's always the same stuff. You have the same group of people who just find anything that they can bitch about, complain about, call somebody out for something. Then you've got the people who play with 7- and 8-figure cards that I, quite frankly, will probably never play in. And then you've got like depressing stuff. And it's just like, I always find it refreshing where I can just have a good laugh, take my mind off of all the bullshit and enjoy the hobby because the hobby really is escapism. Like it distracts me from real life bullshit. It's something that I enjoy. And I wish there was just more of that. So I'm all for it. I would do a Patreon. I would pay the OnlyFans because if I could just go on and I know you can curate your own thing, but I would love to just go on and have a good laugh, man. Today it was a nut bag through a milking board getting speed bagged. I mean, that's incredible.
Dude, I do so for people that are watching this, it was a meme that I made. It was a chick and she was punching nuts. Real nuts. And I try to let it ride. Instagram removed it. I tried to get it reviewed and they shut that shit down quick. They're like, nope. Sometimes you can get them back, but this one they shut it down so quick. And I was like, oh man, all right. I'll let that one.
Yeah, I went to Twitter and it was like number 1 was like Andrew Tate blocked, and then number 2 was Octane shadow ban, just like that.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, we didn't say anything, but Jeremy was late to the call because he was testing out the milking table. got inspiration
okay.
from your meme,
I
and
like
him and his wife were testing that theory
I can
out.
have 4 kids by accident, dude. But when I saw the meme, at least I was like, "Oh, that shit's funny," and you were like, "Man, that's pretty hot. I want to try it."
we gotta try it. I'm glad I inspire people, man. I'm glad I inspire people.
So let me ask you this: you're doing this. Is there an end game in sight, or are you just enjoying the ride and whatever the hell happens happens, or do you have like an idea of like a destination?
That's also another good question. You're hitting me with some good ones today, man. Um, I really don't have an end game right now, and I feel like if I do have an end game, that's gonna kind of lose a little bit of the magic of what this is. What this really is, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This is just an outlet for me, and I really have a good time making these memes. Like I really do. Uh, it gives me a break from the day, right? So I don't have stuff saved up. Like I do this shit just on the fly, right? I'll go on my phone, I'll have an idea, I'll think about it, I'll see a picture, video, whatever, right? Then I'll make it, then I'll start laughing. I have a good time. It's a mental break for me. I'm a parent, you know, I got a full-time job, I do all this other stuff. Um, and that for me is more than enough. Now that I have a little bit of a platform, it's getting better just because I get to make other people enjoy themselves, right? So yeah, there's no end game, man. Again, I don't do this for clout. I don't do it for sponsorship. I don't do it for anything except my own amusement and now to amuse others. You know, stuff what you're saying. You're saying that I give you a break from your grind. That to me is a huge win. So for now, man, there is no end game. I'm just gonna take it as far as it goes, man.
I mean, that is very truthful. I mean, we were here at our house. We were up at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting the kids off to school, doing the whole thing. It's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And I'm excited to be chatting with you because I want to understand like what goes into it, what your thought process is. And my follow up to that is I feel like we have a very similar sense of humor.
Mhm.
Talk to me about, I know that you've done a meme where you're like, this is going to kill, and it fell flat, where you just felt like,
Oh,
man, they just absolutely missed it. And that's got to be the most gut wrenching thing because we've done it too. Maybe not memes per se, but I know what I'm about to say is going to be fucking absolutely fire. And then I'm like left like in shock that
oh yeah.
nobody caught my brilliance.
Oh yeah. Usually when that happens, man. So I'll post something. I was like, dude, this is fire, and I'll post it. It won't get any traction. If it depresses me to a big enough point, I'll just take that shit down. I'll just move it. Fucking embarrassing. I'm like, get out of here. Whoever saw it, I'm sorry. Just let's keep it rolling. And then something I'll just throw on one that I think is it's pretty good, you know, and then it just blows up. And I was like, really? That's the one that blows up? I'm like, so so yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. If it's bad enough, I'll just delete it, man.
Well, you talk a lot about influencers on your page, and I love those posts. You gotta tell me, prove to me that you aren't talking about Ken Golden and those influencers or Nat Turner.
Honestly, and I'll say right now, if I offended you, if I really offended you, you probably deserve that shit.
Amen.
I'm gonna say
Amen.
so again. Ken Golden has never done anything to me. Nat Turner hasn't done it. Like all these big people haven't done anything to me personally, right? But if they do, I'm gonna shit on you, and you want to badmouth me. That's fine. I don't really give a shit, right? But if you're normal and you're cool, that's it. But no. What was the question again? Like, who would I target?
No, like the influencers that you're posting about. Who are you targeting?
Well,
it's like
depends. It debends who's the asshole of the day.
Yep.
Right. So what I'll do
is the flavor of the week.
This is the flavor of the week. So like what Jeremy said before, the hobby has a lot of content, right? Sometimes it's drama, sometimes it's people being scumbags, shill bidding, sometimes it's cringe content by influencers, sometimes it's bullshit pumping. So it's whatever I want to go after that day, whatever is hot, whatever. With influencers, I like what they do because they keep the hobby interesting, right? Which is cool. I think where I have a problem and what most of us have a problem is when they're full of shit, man. Like if you're pumping garbage, you're full of shit, right? If you're shill bidding or just doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing just because you have a large audience, that you become a target for me, right? Even though if it's just for a laugh, but you have to understand some of these people that come into this hobby are gullible. right? And just because you have a platform, you can't use it to abuse people, right? So I'm like, all right, well, I can't physically do anything to you, so let me just shit on you on on my page. So that's how I take it, man.
Yeah, it's with all the resources, you have to understand that people are in this hobby at different levels. Some people spend a couple hours a week and that's it, and so they don't really understand all the politics and the bullshit that goes in on the back end, which is actually kind of disheartening. Is the more you get into this thing, the more you realize it's not as wholesome, and it's just like anything else. When there's large sums of money, people sometimes can get a little squirrely, and so I think it's good because I almost feel like memers are almost more of a watchdog than card porn or accounts like card porn because they sometimes have biases where
Correct.
a memer, like I know if me and Courtney get on and say something stupid, we're going to get fucking rocked. And so it forces you not to be honest or to keep you honest.
Yeah, no, it's. I really feel like I have like I have freedom to say kind of whatever I want because again, you can't take anything away from me. What are you gonna do? You can block me, right? Like, that's pretty much all you can do, right? But I can literally say whatever I want because I don't have a business doing this, right? I'm just a memer, so yeah, I could say certain things. I'm not gonna shit on card porn too much, but I know when they first started, they were like balls to the wall. They would call everybody out, right? Whatever had to be said. And if you've noticed, up until this point, they're very tame now. They don't do that anymore. And it could be because now they have business ties, business relationships.
Yeah.
It could be that. So now they have to watch what they're saying. I still don't give a fuck. And I say whatever to whoever if it has to be said. But I'm not toxic. But
No.
In fairness to card porn, I'm sure they get a million DMs from every guy who bought a card on eBay, who got a dinged corner. And so, being fair to them, I'm sure at a certain point it's hard to, you know, allocate time, energy, effort to pick and choose which things you're going to go after. So, in
yeah,
fairness, I mean that's realistic.
it makes sense. It makes sense. But the only thing I'll say about that is and again, it's not a knock at them or anybody else. But once you get to a certain level, right? Once it really becomes a business and it starts to affect you, like you, let's say, for example, Ken Golden, right? Let's say he was funding me in some way. Let's say he was doing things for me. I can't really go after him anymore. I can't really shit on him anymore because now it's affecting me and my brand. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of these big pages and accounts, once they get big enough, they start to become that way. So I don't want to get like that, man. I just want to be respected for just being honest, you know?
That's a very real thing. The first few times that we were approached about monetizing from an outside source, more than just buying and selling cards, it's a very flattering and exciting feeling that like, hey man, I can get a little additional loot. But then you think about it, and it's like, man, if I just make this one comment, somebody could easily interpret it as this or as that. And
Absolutely.
so it's kind of a cool problem to have. But I'm truly thankful that just like you, this is just a hobby.
That's what
I want to be able to be me. If people like me, great. If they hate me, then so be it. But at least I'm being my authentic self.
yeah, nowadays, man, everything can get you canceled. So,
Well, the thing that's good about your content too, that I'm like realizing, and maybe this is just how I interpret it, but you don't really target an account. You like it's like a broad, like we were just talking about. It's influencers, and you know who you're like talking about, like the people that get upset, and it could be like you don't have to say it, you just know they know pretty much. So I like that content. The only time you called out someone was the backyard breaks, but that was hilarious because that's actually what they do. Um,
it's,
but
yeah.
you don't really call out anybody. You just a broad spectrum of the hobby, pretty much.
But
Yeah,
Manny, if you're slick with it, you can say a lot without saying anything, and you
And
can
you,
fucking cut the person that you want to
yep,
without even, pointing the gun or grabbing the gun.
and that's what Octane's really good at.
yeah, man, people know. That's the thing. Like people know. So if you start talking shit about a specific account, right? Now you're being toxic. Now
Yep.
you're a hater. Now you're this. Now you're that, right? And that's true. That kind of looks bad. Some of these people do. They might mean well, but they kind of look like assholes when they repeatedly go after the same person. We're like, okay, we get it, right? If people still continue to follow their bullshit, then that's on them, right? But yeah, man, like I'll just lay it out there. And sometimes I hit more than one bird, right, with that one meme. I might be targeting one influencer, and I might hit 3 because they were guilty. So I'm like,
They caught a stray.
I got them all.
Some collateral damage. I think it's good. You know, the one person that I can't wait for him to be memed, and I have no ill will or animosity, but I just kind of think it's kind of like a scam, is there's this guy who always has these advertisements, and they're boosted, they're paid for. It's a kid in a white bandana talking about like how he didn't have money and how if you buy his subscription service, he's going to teach you about ROI by buying and selling cards.
What? Who is this guy?
Oh yeah, no, oh man, I'll forward him to you next time I see him. And I hate like because he's like, it's just right. Like I look at it and I'm like, man, that's this poor guy. Like he could be the nicest guy, but if you're in this space, you got to know if that's the way you're going to approach it, you're just setting yourself up to be just shellacked.
I just forgot about those guys. I might go back to them. I forgot about those guys. Those subscription guys with all that fancy. I think your boy Jeff is one of those that does that shit. So,
but let me tell you a story here. I haven't told it, and I'm going to be a certain influencer was at a trade night on a certain night, and apparently somebody attempted to rip off a child, and said influencer who was surrounded by a bunch of people who all of a sudden became the biggest fan of this guy. He got loud and screamed at the guy until he left. And it was like pretty wild because he sells a service that with your phone, you can check the value of cards. And so I didn't quite understand, like in that instance, I'm in all for it. My kid's been ripped off at every single card show he goes to, and it's part of a life lesson. But that's also part of the hobby is that's your thing. You own it. You sell it at whatever price you want. Nobody's forcing you to buy it. And I thought it was kind of goofy, man. Like that's not a good look.
No. See, stuff like that happens all the time, man. It's just, I feel like this hobby has good people. It has good things, but it also has a lot of scum in it, man. And I don't know. We just got to be careful and watch out for it, you know?
Yeah.
So, Manny's got a picture prepared, and he's just going to throw it up, and we just want like honest feedback. Honest feedback.
What you got? Oh yes, that's us, baby. I remember that picture. I love it. Is that you in the back?
That's me, Salt Babe. And well, I thought you didn't want your face covered, so I put black.
Oh, you got the homemade shades on them. I like it.
It's all good, man. Yeah, that was a good night, man. That was an epic night. I like that, man.
I'd always seen the Paul brothers walking out with all that bling around their neck, and then my man showed up, man, like gold chain that like Pitbull would dream of having, and then the bull cracked ice, orange cracked ice, just like his money dripping off him. He had that drip that night.
My wife didn't want me to do it, man. She said I was gonna look like an idiot. I was like, fuck it, at least people will look at it.
See, you can understand. I understood brilliance, absolute freaking brilliance, and I may or may not have had a couple adult beverages at this point. But I was just I knew greatness back then. I have an eye for talent.
Dude, yeah, we were starting to get banged up at that time.
I was pissed I wasn't in the photo. I was so bad.
Hey man, I don't know what the hell you were doing. You just don't like to have a good time, I suppose.
You're boxing me out.
In your defense, I had no reason to be at that party, man. But I was in there and I had a good time and I spoke to a lot of people, man. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun.
So we want to be mindful of time. We like to keep it short, but we have a little game that we want to play. And it's more so like just getting to know Mr. Octane. You know what I mean? And so with that, Manny, I'll let you ask the first one, Manny, because I feel like I've overtalked you a little bit tonight because I'm excited because Octane's my people's.
Do you have a TikTok?
No.
All right, so this is gonna be new to you. So this game is like I'll say she's a number, and then I'll give you a description, and you got to give me what her rating is after this number. So we'll go for example. Here's the first one. She's a 2, but she shill bids your Probstein auctions.
So I have to say who she is?
No,
give her a number.
A number 1 through 10. Like
I don't have TikTok either, but I just saw the reels prior to this, so I have an understanding of what it is.
So she's a 2, so she's ugly. But she bids up.
Whoa, Manny, that's fucked up.
A 2?
A 2, she could have a whack personality.
That's true. That's true. You're right. But she bids up your Probstein auctions. So is she going to go higher in rating or lower?
No, I'm going to say she's a solid 5. She's
A
going.
5 get you up to 5?
Yep. She'll be a scumbag. She'll be a scumbag with me. So she's good people.
Get that money, girl.
Oh,
Jeremy,
girl.
you want to ask yours?
Yeah. So she's a 10, but she thinks Lameme is the greatest memer.
Ooh, nah. Yeah, she's definitely going down to a 7.
A
Yeah.
7?
I like it. You had to drop her ass. Yeah.
A 7's good.
See, that's like a D plus
My
C
own-
minus right there.
Yeah. That's like 2 beers down and you're golden.
No, bro. That's the ride with me hard. Hey.
All right. She's a 4, but rips flawless.
Ooh, she's probably an 8.
An 8, yeah. And backstory is I was looking at memes and I was like, you meme the people who rip flawless are the rich people, the
Yep.
high ups. So that's why that came from.
Yep, I definitely never read that before.
So an 8. So she's a 9, but works for the IRS.
Oh shit, she's going down to like 1. Don't mess
A
with my
1?
Yeah, she's going down. She's going down all the way, man.
Octane, what's an unpopular opinion you have about the hobby? Like something that won't be well received. Like I have a friend who likes Select retail, which right now Select's coming out, so all the memes are out about, Select being hobby only, but he likes Select retail. What's your unpopular opinion about anything in the hobby?
Shit, so many unpopular. Stop being so sensitive, man. To everybody, stop being so sensitive. You're gonna get shit on at one point or another. Whether you're an influencer or you own a card shop, whatever, stop being sensitive. You're gonna get shit on. There's always haters. I think Chronicles is trash. I think any retail product ruins a product line, right? Actually, that's probably the most unpopular opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of them. And I think too, like if you get rocked, man, taking it in good fun is a good look for you. Overreacting and acting like a little biatch is you're just setting yourself up to get some more.
Exactly. You just become a target, man. Stop being a little bitch, bro.
This is a kind of a heated debate between Jeremy and I. Dumb and Dumber, good movie or not so good movie?
It's probably one of my favorite movies.
Let's go. Jeremy.
Hold up. So here's what I'll say, Jeremy. There's a difference. So Dumb and Dumber is corny as fuck, right? It's very corny.
Yep.
But it's still a great movie. It's like good corniness, right? And because of that movie, I went to Aspen. And that movie wasn't even filmed in Aspen, bro.
I love it. I love it. What's one of your favorite accounts that most people don't know? Because I know somebody like you've got a very particular sense of taste. And I'm sure that there's an account out there that you think is absolutely awesome that most people are sleeping on.
Oh, shit. All right. I'm going to... Damn, but it depends. Is it hobby related or what?
Hobby, yeah. Let's keep it in the hobby space.
Honestly, man, I don't know. There's too many. There's and right now that question, my brain's just going on overload. There's way too many accounts. It depends what mood I'm in that day. I can't answer that one.
I could help you. I don't know if you follow them, but you're a Formula One guy. Do you follow F1 Troll?
Yes, I do. I do.
That account is hilarious because after the races, they're on top of all the memes.
I follow that, but I don't meme F1 because nobody knows F1. The community is so small with F1 that it'll go right over people's heads. But the meme pages for F1, they're on point, man.
That's funny. I had she's a 10, but she PC's Lance Stroll, and I was like, no one's gonna get that.
Ooh, that guy's terrible. He's not worse than him, but he's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Thank God for Daddy.
Yeah.
Thank God for Daddy.
Yeah.
Look, man, Octane Collectibles, we really appreciate you jumping on. I really think that like in 12, 24 months, whatever, your account is going to be massive. I don't know anybody who I haven't introduced your account that doesn't absolutely fucking love it and have a good time.
Appreciate that.
Please keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't let PC cancel culture. You know what I mean? You're not attacking anybody. It's all the spirit's of good fun, but it truly is for somebody who has limited time in the hobby. I sincerely appreciate it. So I hope that you continue to do what you're doing.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Jeremy, Manny, thank you so much for having me on. You mind if I go just give a couple of shout outs? Because if not, I got ripped last time. Real quick, shout out to John at shit, I forgot. Center stage. My
Yeah.
bad. At center stage, Justine. Shout out to the whole Hella Cards fam, the group chat, and everybody who has followed me from day one. You guys, new followers, old followers. You guys don't understand how much that shit means to me. Loyalty is everything. Don't buy followers. Don't do follow unfollow. Keep that shit organic. And just thank you so much for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, have a good night. Thank you very much, man.
All right, guys. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.